Insurance personal lines TN state exam, true or false? The dwelling policy is for farm property as well. False. The dwelling policy does not cover farm property. Fraternal insurer. Fraternity. Who owns a mutual policy? Policy owners. Define a physical hazard. A condition of the subject of insurance that creates or increases the chance of loss. What is loss? Reduction in value, destruction, or disappearance of property or person insured in a policy. What does the DP1 form cover without extended coverage endorsements? Fire, lightning, internal explosion. In property and casualty insurance, insurable interest must exist underscore 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 at the time of loss. In the law of agency, agents underscore 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 insurance contracts on behalf of the underscore 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 sell/solicit, insurer, principal. What is a personal contract? Between insurer and insured. Is a basic form a named peril? Yes. What are the 5 elements of insurable risk? 1. Due to chance. 2. Definite and measurable. 3. Statistically predictable. 4. Not catastrophic. 5. Randomly selected/large loss exposure. Dwelling property policy. Can be purchased to insure properties solely used for residential purposes. Who owns stocks? Stockholders. What type of risk can never be insured? Speculative risk. What is speculative risk? A risk situation that includes a chance of loss and a potential for gain. Speculative risks are not insurable. Private insurers are the underscore 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 of insurance companies. Majority. What are the major coverages included in a homeowner's policy? Coverage A, dwelling coverage. B, other structures coverage. C, personal property coverage. D, loss of use. All of the following would be eligible for coverage under the dwelling policy except underscore 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 underscore. A duplex. W/1 primary owner. B, a house that has 5 residential units. C, a tenant-occupied dwelling. D, a dwelling in the course of construction. B, a house that has 5 residential units. Hazards are conditions that, of an insured loss. Increase, probability. True or false? Mobile homes can be insured by the dwelling policy if they are permanently located on a private lot. True. Express as underscore 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 underscore. Written in the contract. What perils are covered in DP1 Option 1? Windstorm, hail, explosion, smoke, aircraft/vehicles, riot/civil commotion, volcanic eruption, or the wharves. What is a first named insured? The first name on the policy and has certain additional rights and responsibilities that do not apply to other named insureds. What is an additional insured? The specific interest. Name may not be on the policy. What is the broad theft coverage? An endorsement added to the DP if the insured is the owner-occupant of the dwelling. True or false? The reduction or destruction, loss, must be due to a peril insured against in the policy. True. Define insurance. Transfer of risk. Broad form losses are on a basis as long as the insured maintains a of coverage equal to % of the dwelling replacement costs. Replacement cost, minimum, 80. What is the DPISO form structure? 1. Agreement, includes declaration page. 2. Definitions 3. Deductibles 4. Coverages and other coverages 5. Perils insured against 6. General exclusion 7. Conditions. What HO form covers a historic home with replacement cost more than the market value? HO 8. Modified homeowners. What does DP2 cover? Previous perils from DP1 plus extended coverage perils plus DP2 perils. Is a DP3 a named peril? A DP3, special dwelling form, can be an open or a named peril. What extra perils does the DP2 cover? Burglary, falling objects, artificially generated electricity, weight of ice, snow, or sleet, accidental discharge or overflow, tearing apart, cracking, or bulging, freezing of plumbing, B.B/BICEF. What are the 3 separate coverage forms available under the dwelling program? Basic, broad, and special form coverage. Give 2 examples of an incidental business. Daycare, hair salon. What kind of businesses can a dwelling policy cover? Incidental businesses with no more than 2 ppl working. What is an foreign insurer? Outside of your state but in the country. What is an alien insurer? An insurance company out of the country. True or false? The larger the number of ppl with a similar exposure to loss, the less predictable actual losses will be. False. The larger the number of ppl with a similar exposure to loss, the more predictable actual losses will be. Basic form losses are paid on an basis. Actual cash value. What is the law of agency? Agents represent the insurer. Knowledge of the agents equals knowledge of the insurer. The insurer is responsible for agents' actions. Payment to the agents equals payment to the insurer. The dwelling policy can be used to insure what 3 things in a location? Dwelling only, contents only, or both. Losses caused by vandalism and malicious mischief are excluded from coverage if a dwelling has been vacant for how many days? 60 days. What is a unilateral contract? A one-sided agreement in which a promise on one side is exchanged for an act or forbearance on the other, which must clearly define when parties must fully perform and how acceptance is accomplished. Promise for act. How do insurers protect themselves from adverse selection? By refusing or restricting coverage for bad risks or by charging a higher rate. What is an open peril policy? Form of insuring agreement that covers all perils except those losses specifically excluded. What is a named insured? The person or party named on the declarations page of the policy. What are the 2 types of risks? Pure and speculative. What are the types of domicile insurers? Domestic foreign alien. True or false? A DP2 is a named peril. True. A DP2 or broad dwelling form is always a named peril. True or false? Insureds may purchase DP1 option 2 if they don't want DP1 option 1. False. You cannot purchase DP1 option 2 without first purchasing DP1 option 1. DP2 is covered on what basis? Replacement cost. What HO form covers condominium unit owners? HO 6, condominium unit owners. What is a aleatory contract? Unequal change. Implied is underscore 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 underscore. Not written in the contract but is assumed. What is exposure used to do? Determine the rate. Apparent is underscore 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 underscore. Based on the principal's actions or words. Lloyd's underscore 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 underscore. Are not an insurance company. Provides support facilities for underwriters and unique losses. What does basic form option 2 add to the coverage? Vandalism and malicious mischief, VMM. What additional coverages does the broad form cover? Lawns, trees, shrubs, and plants glass breakage collapse. What is DP1, basic form, option 1? It's an extended coverage endorsement option that requires additional premium but allows coverage of more perils. What is moral hazard? A dishonest predisposition on the part of an insured which increases the chance of loss. Incidental occupancy. Minor uses that are accessory to or support the predominant occupancy. Define the law of large numbers. Insurance is spreading risk among a large pool of PPLW/similar exposure to loss. What is concealment? Intentionally withholding information. Casualty peril is defined as underscore 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 underscore. The loss of and/or damage to property and resulting liabilities. What is another name for a DP2? A broad dwelling form. Can mobile homes contain more than one apartment to be eligible for a dwelling policy? No, mobile homes must contain only one apartment to be eligible. What is a peril? Cause of loss insured against in an insurance policy. What does SANS stand for in transacting insurance? Sale advising, negotiating, soliciting. True or false? The broad theft coverage covers personal property of the insured. True. Risk retention group is a underscore 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 underscore. Liability insurance company owned by its members. Define exposure. A unit of measure used to determine rates charged for insurance coverage. Property peril is defined as underscore 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 underscore. The loss of physical property or of its income-producing abilities. What amount of coverage does the DP2 allow when it has to do with lawns, trees and plants? Max 5% of dwelling coverage. The dwelling policy insures up to how many residential units? 4. What is an adhesion contract? Take it or leave it. True or false? A DP1 should have an exclusion page. False. A DP1 is a basic dwelling form and is a named peril that should not have any exclusions listed. What is pure risk? A risk that presents the chance of loss but no opportunity for gain. What is strict liability? Liability regardless of fault, usually for a product a business sells. What is a named peril policy? All perils accepted are listed. Anything not listed is not covered. What is another name for a DP1? A basic dwelling program form. What are the costs of lawns, trees, shrubs, and plants to replace with the dwelling policy? $500 each. What are the 3 types of hazards? 1. Moral. 2. Morale. 3. Physical. Reciprocal insurers. Attorney in fact. What are the 3 elements of insurable risk? 1. Financial, a monetary interest. 2. Blood, a relative. 3. Business, a business partner. What is the maximum number of roomers or boarders for properties insured under the dwelling policy? Dwelling policies may insure a property that allows up to 5 roomers or boarders. What is another name for an open peril? All risk. What is vicarious liability? Employers can be held responsible for the negligent acts of their employees. What is a domestic insurer? Insurance company in your state. What is adverse selection? Insuring of risks that are more prone to losses than the average risk. What is another name for a DP3? A special dwelling form. Can a dwelling be under construction for the dwelling policy? Yes. What is a morale hazard? Applicant demonstrates a careless attitude that could increase the chance of loss. What is an example of a vicarious liability? Child breaks the neighbor's window, now the parent has to pay. All of the following are characteristics of the dwelling policy except A. Incidental occupancy of limited service type exposure is permitted. B. Dwellings up to 4 family units are eligible. C. The dwelling must be owner occupied. D. Coverage includes the dwelling only, contents only, or both. C. The dwelling must be owner occupied. A basic dwelling policy automatically provides coverage against fire, lighting, and internal explosion. What is a material misrepresentation? Information that is not true but would have caused the insurer not to issue the policy. What are the elements of a legal contract? Agreement, competent parties, legal purpose, consideration. What amount of coverage does the DP2 allow for glass breakage? No coverage if vacant over 60 days.